Like a vampire, I don't need to know you. Come with me, I'll show you. You can find me backstage, I'm a party with a Nicolas Cage. Girl, I want the body, you know you got a body like Nicolas Cage. You ain't gotta be scared, you ain't gotta be afraid, baby. It's just you and me alone tonight with Nicolas Cage.
Welcome back to Late Night Cage Fight. It's me, Reese, and I'm here with Sean, just the two of us tonight, for a special review of Netflix's new History of Swear Words, hosted by Nicolas Cage. The two of us just recently finished watching this interesting series, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. Actually, first, though, Sean, I wanted to ask you, did you happen to see that the trailer just dropped for Willy's Wonderland?
I did not.
I think...
That's the Five Nights at Freddy's inspired movie, right?
That's right. I actually think that we should watch that together and react to it. What do you think?
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah, let's find it.
3, 2, 1...
Ooh. Chicken soup for the soul media? Is that what that said?
You spend the night cleaning Willy's Wonderland, and I will pay to have your car fixed. Deal?
Getting some Mandy vibes.
Yeah, already.
On staff. Let's get the hell out of here. I can't stand to hear a grown man scream.
It's like if Volition Software made a Five Nights at Freddy's game.
Uh-huh.
People that did Saints Row.
I see. Especially with the colors.
Yeah.
Have you been listening to a word I've been saying? He's gonna die.
He's here to clean, sweetie. Oh, here they come.
How loud they coming. A fucking ostrich.
Right.
Why is it an They're like, well, we can't use any of the same animals.
Right.
Nobody's
Ooh, that's creepy.
balls on, Evan. We're going to Willy's.
You gotta have old lady cleavage.
I don't think that was her.
They're trapped in here with
Well, it should have been.
Oh, yeah.
It's birthday time.
Wow.
I enjoy a man of few words.
It legit looks like Nicolas Cage versus Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics. I mean, there's no other way to describe it.
I just love how they chose an ostrich as like the first one that they show.
Yeah. Kind
Like
of
you would have
kooky.
thought they would have. Yeah, I mean, did they just try to differentiate it, or? I feel
Maybe.
like
Maybe they'll have a main villain, animatronic villain that rules the rest of them or something, or a final boss. I'm sure it will be that kind of thing.
it's just gonna be a 13-year-old streamer in a chair.
That would be amazing. And they fight to the death. Oh, wow. So, yeah, be on the lookout for Willy's Wonderland. Nick Cage is back. I mean, this looks like Mandy 2.0. Could be.
I'm really excited for this one, actually. I wonder if this is going to be straight to theaters, or is it going to be streaming, or what?
Right. I mean, it's going to be one of those that I would put down the $19.99 for the early access. Was that a Machete?
Oh, Machete, so it's going to be in the Spy Kids cinematic universe then.
Could be. Yeah. Well, I mean, there are toys in it, so it's kind of for kids.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, boy. Yeah, so be on the lookout for Willy's Wonderland. Not a kids movie. Of course, there aren't that many kids movies. Well, yeah, what am I thinking? Once we get Kitty Cage rolling, we're going to show people that Nicolas Cage really does have a heart and is affectionate and endearing to lots of kids. in such great films as G-Force,
A Christmas Carol,
A Christmas Carol,
the Ant Bully.
Ant Bully, and Astro Boy.
It just blows my mind that he was in Astro Boy. I forgot that movie existed.
I never saw it. To be
perfectly honest, I never saw it either.
You know that Nick Cage has this affinity to Japan. I know he does. I see it. I sense it in interviews and stuff.
You know he's got a Hello Kitty body pillow.
Yeah, I'm sure that he saw the script for Astro Boy and he's like, I want to do it. I want to do that one. Who is he in it? Is he the scientist or who does he voice? We'll have to figure that out.
What's the scientist's name? Tenma?
Oh yeah, that's right.
The thing that always bothered me with that movie is just like, it's not Astro Boy if he's not just in a Speedo.
That's true.
Why'd they put him in like a shirt or whatever?
Dude, it's the same thing with the Sonic movie. When you saw the first design of Sonic, right? And it was just bad. And it made you think, who was okay with this? Did they show it to anyone who actually is a Sonic fan or played the games?
Did you actually see that movie?
Yeah, my kids love it.
I have not seen it yet, but everything that I've heard from it, pretty much everybody is just like, we love this movie just because it looks like Sonic. Nothing involving the movie whatsoever.
I mean, if you want my short rundown of it, I would say it's okay. The effects are cool. Jim Carrey plays a pretty cool villain, but he's very classic Jim Carrey. And so it's nice to see him be that over the top and animated again. But some of the lines are very cheesy. At times, it really feels kind of like a 90s era movie with some of the jokes and stuff. But yeah, the action's cool. Sonic is well voiced, well animated. The technology stuff in it's pretty cool. You know, and it all kind of, at the end of the movie, it has this pretty epic sequence that's fun to watch. I'd say it's okay. I mean, it's better than most video game movies, for sure.
That's a low bar.
But that's true. That's true. Well, how about we talk a little bit about History of Swear Words? Available now on Netflix.
Only problem is I refuse to swear.
Yeah.
Because I'm a good Christian boy.
She's not a Christian!
Yeah,
So-
we've learned that about you recently. And so just for anyone out there listening, our show is now going to become G-rated. We're no longer going to be using certain epithets.
Like heck.
Yes, heck is appropriate. I'm sure you know the words I mean. There's a whole list of them. Actually, each one of them has its own episode in the History of Swear Words, this documentary series available now on Netflix, hosted by the amazing Nicolas Cage. I wish I could tell you what they all are. It's vile. Luckily, they are censored if you even look them up on Google. Yeah, the official ones are censored, most of them.
Swear words. They're the most popular and alluring taboos we have. But the secrets to their strange power have been shrouded in mystery until now. Join me on a journey through the history, evolution, and cultural impact of swear words.
Words don't start out as swear words. They're just words.
Somebody decided at some point that this is a swear word.
There's an acronymic etymology, fornication under consent of the king.
This household has been given my consent to fuck!
It is total horseshit.
But yeah, this is a 6-episode unscripted series that dives into the history of curse words, and it goes pretty far. It goes pretty deep into the etymological history, you know, as far back as medieval times, even further for some of them, all the way up to modern times, and how these words have changed in their usage and meaning. And you know, overall, I'd say it's mildly interesting. I guess if you're someone who curses a lot, or maybe someone who is bothered by people who curse a lot, this is worth checking out because you get something out of it in that sense, the history of why these words are even here in our lexicon today. What did you think about it, Sean?
I thought it was somewhat entertaining. I do really think that the segments with Cage, I thought he did a very good job. I thought that they pretty much just brought him in and kind of let him be him.
I'm not gonna lie. The Cage segments in these episodes are hilarious. They're fantastic. I actually expect to see a full-length super cut of just Cage. I think he makes the series. I'm sorry.
Hey, you suck my Jeff. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it. What about Daniel? Suck my Dan. See? No. Oh, I know. Suck my Nick. Yeah. Hey, Nick head. Eat a Nick. Don't even think about nicking me over, Nick Wad. Yeah, you wish you had B-N-E. Big Nick energy.
Yeah, I would agree. I think one of my favorite parts with him was we actually get the definitive Nicolas Cage profanity meter.
Yes.
The breakdown of his swears. So with 71%, it's fart.
Yeah. Something
and
like
then 19% is darn.
Darn.
And 8% is bench, and then 2% are other non-God-fearing words.
You can also say brat. I was thinking brat for that one.
Yeah.
I like bench. It sounds good. You bench. And I think judging by the previous films we've seen of the first films of Nicolas Cage's career, we know what some of those other swears are. You know, I'm actually surprised they didn't do, because they did darn. I'm surprised they didn't do gosh darn. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that might be, they don't want to get canceled.
That's true. Gosh darn is a very, very heavy slang, heavy vulgar word.
Yeah.
Deep cutting.
You're just watching Bible Man with your kids on Netflix, and then you just got these GD words coming in. Just
Bible Man.
Yeah, one of my favorites. What else did I have to say about Nicolas Cage? I had some more notes. Give me a second here.
He's in it.
Cage is in it. He's looking sharp and clean cut after jiu-jitsu. It looks like he's slimmed up, got a haircut, neatly trimmed beard, youthful looking makeup. Cage is back, baby. That's the best thing about this show.
Yeah, he was looking a little disheveled in jiu-jitsu, but he is looking fine.
One could say. And where was he hosting this show from? Did you see that library in the background? It looked like Lord Grantham's library from Downton Abbey. It was beautiful.
I think that was his library.
Of course, they made. Go ahead.
We know Nick is he's a connoisseur of the finer things in life, so I think that there's good possibility it could have been his own personal study.
Oh. Yeah, I'm, no kayfabe here. No joking around. Maybe that was his actual library, one of the many. Who knows?
We're all working from home,
Yeah, this day and age. I got the feeling this series reminded me of VH1 documentaries. What was that show on VH1?
Oh, I love the insert decade here.
Yes, I love the swear words or something.
Yeah, I got the same vibe. I used to love that series.
Yeah, they're fun, but very light. It's something you can have on kind of in the background while you're doing something else and just kind of look at every once in a while and get something out of it. But yeah, there's a whole range of talent in this series. We have a host of comedians, including Jim Jeffries, Zainab Johnson, Nikki Glazer, London Hughes, Joel Kim Booster, who's actually the pink Cyberwolf Booster from Jingle All the Way in human form. Was happy to see that. DeRay Davis, Nick Offerman, Open Mike Eagle, Sarah Silverman, Patty Harrison. They had a lexicographer and author named Corey Stamper, cognitive scientist Ben Bergen, author of The Brief History of Swearing, Melissa Moore, PhD, film critic Elvis Mitchell, actor Isaiah Whitlock Jr., he's the guy that says, she. Also, professor of
shoot. You mean shoot.
Professor of feminist studies, Murray Miller Young. Yeah, all these people give their thoughts and opinions on these various vulgar words. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know many of them. In fact, I think you're familiar with definitely more comedians than I am, Sean.
Yeah, I used to listen to a lot of Comedy Central radio back when I had XM. Didn't really feel like paying for it anymore, but yeah, they pretty much just play like 24/7 stand-up comedy. So
okay.
I mean, I already was a big fan of Nick Offerman. I've actually seen his stand-up live.
Oh, no way.
He's really funny.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
This is kind of a tangent, but when I went to go see him, I think a lot of the people that go to see him don't really know who he is just by himself, and they think that he's his character from Parks and Rec, who is a pretty staunch libertarian, but you know, he's from California, so he starts making jokes about Donald Trump, and people actually were getting up and leaving.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That's the world we're in now.
Yep. Yeah, but Jim Jeffries, Nikki Glazer, I've heard their stand-up before. Obviously, you know, Sarah Silverman is pretty famous.
Yeah, and you know, these people are funny. You can tell that they are funny by what they say in this series, but at the same time, it's, you know, we're talking about something that is kind of silly, and they're kind of reaching to be funny at times, and sometimes I think it's the way that this has been edited. It's that kind of quick cut, you know, flashbang editing, where you got to get these jokes in super fast.
It's a little immature, but you know, it's somewhat entertaining. Yeah, I mean, it's a very light show,
right? But they also get pretty heavily at times into the history with the lexicographer, for example, and so that's really my point. Is sometimes that balance can be a bit much. Trying to find that balance between the lighthearted, funny, silly stuff, the jokes, and then the kind of, at times, dry history of these words, which, I mean, to be honest, most of these words, the history is really not that interesting. In fact, they highlight the misconceptions people have about the history of the words first, which are a lot more interesting than the reality.
Yeah, honestly, that was part of it that was a little disappointing to me. I just thought some of it they were just reaching a little bit. You know.
Yeah, I have some examples. One example I have is they bring up, I don't remember which episode, but they talk about this case study. This guy in, I want to say, the 1800s. His name was Phineas Gage, and he had this very classic, very famous accident where a railroad spike went through his brain and it completely changed his personality. And part of that was he would swear all the time. He basically used to be a really nice guy, and now he was really mean and angry, and he would cuss a lot. And they bring that up, and I just felt like they didn't do very much with it because I'm familiar with that story, and that particular case study had a much deeper impact on science's understanding of, you know, neurology and psychology than just the fact that this guy started cursing all the time. So that's just one example. You know, they don't really go too deep. I guess they don't necessarily need to, but it just kind of tickles your fancy, piques your interest enough.
Best thing from the entire series, BNE, Big Nick Energy.
BNE, Big Nick Energy.
Nick Cage uses his own name as a euphemism for the male member. So now it's the Nick.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, don't be a Nick.
He says, suck my Nick.
I'm telling you, man, they got to make a supercut of all his lines, because there's some classic ones in there. Something else that disappointed me, man, I am a huge Alien fan, if you didn't know. And the episode on Bench, right? They use all these clips from movies, and they didn't use the most famous one, which is Aliens, where Sigourney Weaver saves the girl, from the Queen Alien. Get away from her, you Bench.
Get away from her, you bitch!
And like him, he was like, oh my god. Oh, I know. He was so totally oh my god. I know. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
That's the most famous line, all right, with that word in it, in cinema. And they didn't include that. So I just want to say to the producers of the show, I'm disappointed in you.
Maybe they just didn't want to pay Disney.
That could be it. And that was a slam in itself, reminding me that it's now owned, that franchise is owned by Disney now. I'm going to quietly drink myself to death.
The alien queen is a Disney princess.
There's something wrong with the world. Of course, the one that everybody's going to watch, they were smart when they made this show. They knew that the first episode had to be the one to reel everyone in. So, of course, it's the F-bomb. Which probably I think was the funniest one, just because of the nature of that word, right? It's so flexible in how you can use it, as they discuss, and you also learn who the sweariest actor in all of movies is. Could you believe it, Sean?
I still don't believe.
Yeah, the comedian.
Is it just because?
Well, everyone was guessing that it was Samuel L. Jackson. Of course, that's obvious.
Yeah.
He definitely needs to be up there. But the actual sweariest actor of all time so far is Jonah Hill, and mostly due to the movie Wolf of Wall Street. I don't really think that's fair. I think it's kind of like voting.
No.
It's the popular vote. We got Jonah Hill, but the Electoral College, we're waiting for that. Or should I even bring that up? I probably shouldn't bring that up.
Oh well, the election is rigged. So
yeah,
or whatever.
Or whatever at this point.
It was. Yeah, it was the Green Party that actually always wins. So.
Yeah. The Illuminati Green Party? The Green Illuminati?
Yeah, everyone knows that the 2020 election was won by Jill Stein.
I didn't know that. I learn everything from you. Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what is our euphemism? What is our replacement word for the F-bomb? Fudge?
Fart.
Fart?
I like fudge. Now you're making me hungry.
I say fudge. I say fudge all the time. I say it just to make people know that I want to say the other word. At work and stuff.
What the fudge is going on?
I try to, you see, I'm kind of a rebel. I toe the line a little bit. My boss is like, hey, I need you to get this job done in the next hour. And I say, what the fudge, brother? What the fudge?
They actually make the rules because
yeah,
you already broke them. So
right. So I'm just going to bring up one more point about this show that I just think people need to be aware of. It's a conversation starter at times, and the way that this show starts out is it seems to make the argument, or I should say certain people that appear in the series make the argument that curse words have become taboo for certain reasons, specifically ones that have to deal with sexuality or relate back to sex. And the proper evolution of society is to tear down those walls and allow for the common usage of these profane words. So basically, it's an argument against censorship, right? So, and they make the case with, for example, rap music, when they had, Fudge the Police, when they came out with that. Parental advisory stickers, the argument is made, they were implicitly racist. They put those stickers on CDs to, I don't know, how were they racist? Did you understand that? Maybe the legal proceeding itself was implicitly racist?
It was because they wanted to dissuade people from buying music that was made by minorities.
I feel like that could be true. That could be true, but it's not everyone's experience with it, of course, because that label didn't just apply to rap music. I remember the first parental advisory album I bought was Offspring, Americana, or Rob Zombie.
Did they say what year that was introduced?
I think it was late 80s, early 90s. I feel like I say that every time in this podcast. When was that Nick Cage movie made? Late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, I'm sure probably the details of the case, there's definitely going to be some kind of racism there with the artists at the time who were trying to make these controversial but much needed statements. But at the same time, as a parent, I also see how they can be helpful as well. That's really all I'm saying.
I don't know if you knew this, but the ESRB is also racist because there was this game back in the 90s called Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And the very first draft of the game, before it was pulled and redone, people were outraged because there was this character Jax, and you could who was a black character, and you could use him to kill white characters. And conservative America, that's we can't show this to our nice white Christian children,
right?
So this
so I agree that's a ridiculous double standard, but I also think in a way we've kind of come full circle where now you can't have the opposite. You can't have a game where you're I guess in a position of power. Well, that's not necessarily true. If I make too general of a statement, I know I'm going to be wrong. But I guess we've gotten to a point now where we have to be so careful in representation and the message that we send. But I think we've kind of become a little bit hypocritical in how we've cut this pie a little bit.
Well, we're looking at you, Resident Evil 5. We haven't forgotten.
I've never played it, but yeah, that was a big controversy. Yeah.
They basically just added just all races of people, even though it's in Africa. There's just
And the interesting thing is that's a disconnect between the Japanese creators and the rest of the world, because I'm pretty sure they were designing that game mostly for the Japanese audience, primarily, right? And then they kind of consider the rest of the world later. And so, the truth is in Japan, I can say this living here and stuff, and I'm sure you're aware, but racism exists here too. But the creators make questionable content all the time. And that goes across the spectrum. Racist, misogynistic, ultra-violent, sexual stuff all the time that we as a society would find reprehensible. And the same people this is the point I'm making, the same people who would argue against a rating system because art should not be, I don't know what the argument is. Art should not be whatever the argument is, these are the same people that would argue now that these games should not even be made because they cross a certain line.
And those are just the kids' games.
Yeah. So, not to get too heavy on that topic, there is one other part of it.
Oh, you know what? They do talk a little bit about the MPAA, and I actually did not know about the Hays Code, which was the precursor to the MPAA.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, really interesting documentary. If you've never seen it, it's called "This Film Has Not Yet Been Rated."
I haven't seen it.
It's all about the MPAA and how they're the only ratings board that the members are not known to the public.
Okay.
So they actually hire a private investigator and like find out who these people are, and it's pretty crazy.
Oh man, you're always recommending to be these awesome documentaries. I'm gonna have to have a documentary binge fest. Just watch all these.
I love me a good documentary.
Yeah, I do too. I don't know. I the only time I have for documentaries apparently is for swear words. Yeah, I'll check that out. That's cool. Remind me again. I got to watch that. And there was another documentary that you suggested about. Oh, what was it? The Marvel one?
Oh yeah, the Japanese Spider-Man one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Yeah, this is the other thing too. Oh, please continue. Please, I must know.
I was just gonna say, I actually started the second episode of that series, and it's all about just women in comics. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of comics, I don't know if I should go on that topic yet, or I should go, or if I should go to this one that pertains to the show here, because the other topic I was going to bring up was, or my point is, so they tell you censorship is bad, the argument that they make in the first couple episodes. And then when they get to the one about bench, right? You stupid bench. That one, as we all know, is derogatory towards women. But I just find it interesting that we're aware that there are certain swear words that are slurs, that are their meaning can be flexible depending on the context and the intent of the speaker when they say it. So I just felt like you need to be careful when you make this argument that these words shouldn't be taboo just because they have some sexual connotation, but when it's a slur, it's hate speech or something, that's bad.
Well, they also go into just how that word's being taken back and is being used as a term of empowerment, which that's one of the themes is just how words evolve over time.
Yeah, and that's what I really liked.
Can change.
I really liked about London Hughes, one of the comedians. I felt she was super real about all this stuff, and also she's from the UK. So I loved that in the first episode she used the C word and said, and where I'm from, you can just call somebody a C word and it's just like saying hello. Whereas, if we had an episode about that word in this series, that's going to be a very heated one, probably, or I should say a deep analysis of why that word is offensive in the States. And then the other thing she said, what would you argue?
I would argue that in the States, besides probably one other word that we're not allowed to say, is probably the most offensive swear word that we have.
Yeah, exactly. And then, talking about the word bench, I liked what London said that I just thought was honest when she said, we want to take this word back, but we always know there's going to be guys that talk with themselves and they're going to keep using these words. And so you just kind of have to accept that, that's the truth. And then she also said something about how she doesn't know if she could stop using that word.
The one thing I thought was really funny was when they were talking about the word Nick. They were talking about it gets censored on TV, depending on which use you use.
That's right.
So they're like, you can say my Nick's a bleep.
Yeah. No, you can say it was Patton Oswalt. He has this bit where he says that my dong is a dong, and then when they show it on TV, it'll say my bleep is a dong. Oh yeah, I loved how Joel Kim Booster, he said that was his favorite word for it, dong, because it's like an onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a guest at our door. We have somebody here, so give me a moment. I'll be right back. So what is the history of swear words? It's a very colorful history. Actually, it's not. I don't know why I said that. It's a history.
It has a history.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. Check it out. It's on Netflix. Pretty quick watch. I would suggest just watching one a day or something. I just watching all of these at once is kind of a bit much for me.
Or just watch the supercut of Nicolas Cage on Netflix.
Yeah, come on Netflix. Put that out. Put that out on your YouTube account. Just the Nick Cage parts.
Special thanks to Netflix for giving us a press screener for it.
That's true.
Sorry we didn't have a chance to get it out before it aired, but we tried.
We tried. But we watched it.
Been busy. We did.
Hey, why didn't Nick put his hand in the ice water? He was too good for that.
He actually doesn't believe in ice.
Oh.
The only purpose for ice is to water down good, expensive whiskey that the IRS can't take away from you.
Right. Well, the next thing we can talk about is what's coming up with the podcast. Do you have anything else you want to say about the show?
You know, if you're bored, it's worth a watch. You know, it is what it is. It's nothing amazing, but you know, it's a mild distraction at best.
Yes, agreed. Wow, I agreed with you.
And you said it was going to be heated.
I did. Well, with Steve here, I thought Steve was going to either back me up or, you know, with the norm, he would go against me. Mm-hmm. So what's coming up? What's coming up for Late Night Cage Fight? First, we should talk about what's coming up for Nicolas Cage. I mean, he's got quite a few films in the bag, it looks like.
He's got, in March, we have, I think that's his next release that's coming out. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent from Lionsgate Cinemas.
Yeah, that's
still trying to get that press screener.
Oh, please, America.
You know, if come on, Lionsgate.
Yeah,
give us a shout out.
We also got Prisoners of the Ghostland. That's actually supposed to come out this month.
That one, I don't even know what that is.
It's the story is Nicolas Cage with Sofia Boutella, Nick Cassavetes. I know that name. Oh, he was in Face Off. He's reuniting with this guy from Face Off. Yeah. Let me read the description here. A notorious criminal must break an evil curse in order to rescue an abducted girl who has mysteriously disappeared. All right, well, let's just go with it. Action horror thriller with Nick Cage. He looks like he's got a gun in the screen cap there. So promising. What else we got? We got this movie Pig in post-production. I think Steve mentioned that last time.
Oh, that's the truffle movie, right?
You're right. Yeah,
Truffle hunters.
That's what he said. Yeah, truffle hunters. A truffle hunter who lives alone in the Oregonian wilderness must return to his past in Portland in search of his beloved foraging pig after she is kidnapped. Okay, so is this going to be an action movie? Is this going to be Nicolas Cage's John Wick?
This is Nicolas Cage's Where the Red Fern Grows.
Ooh. I would prefer that. I would prefer that. I would prefer that. Where's my pig?
Literature shout out.
Where is my pig? I'm going to ask you one more time. Where is my pig? Where is she? And then we have this untitled Joe Exotic TV miniseries in pre-production, so they're getting that set up. They probably got it all shot except for Nick Cage's part. I'm guessing that's how that goes. So, and he'll just show up and they'll just turn the camera on and hey, lights, camera, action, do your thing, Nick. And whatever they get, that's what they got. They got to cut it. He's also getting paid, according to IMDb, he's getting paid $1 million per episode for this Tiger King series.
I really wonder if that's going to have diminishing returns. Do people care anymore?
It's true. I don't know.
I feel like everyone watched that show because we were in quarantine, and now everybody has their PlayStation 5s and they don't give a fart.
Maybe they'll have the PS5 game. We'll have some cross-marketing here.
Yeah, Joe Exotic Online.
Yeah. Life at the park. It'll be a park sim.
In all seriousness, I'm surprised that they never tried to release a mobile game.
Yeah,
to
right?
capitalize on that.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it was kind of like the new Duck Dynasty, or it could have been. I mean, granted, it's much shorter, but it seemed to have that kind of power.
There was a Duck Dynasty game.
I know, that's what I'm saying, yeah. Duck Dynasty. Yeah, so those are the movies we're looking forward to starring Nicolas Cage. And as for the future of this podcast, we're coming into season 3. We're entering the realm of some amazing Nicolas Cage movies, some classics like The Rock, Leaving Las Vegas, his Oscar-winning role, Con Air, Face Off, Deadfall, a cult favorite of Steve and myself. You haven't seen Deadfall, correct, Sean?
I have not.
Don't watch a trailer. Don't do anything. Don't just forget that there's a movie with Nicolas Cage in it called Deadfall, please.
A what?
Just forget that there's a movie called Deadfall with Nicolas Cage in it.
A what?
Just forget that there's a... Good, good. I'm a hypnotist, apparently. We're not getting a Xandalee 2. Just scrolling through here. So
there's still hope.
Well, yeah, he's still alive, so they could do it at any time.
After they do Free Willy 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd watch that.
The most anticipated. Yeah,
Yeah, so we're all excited to pit these upcoming movies against each other, and it's going to be a tough call to see what comes out on top. I can tell you right now, because even looking at these movies myself, I don't know which I would pick. There are a few that I haven't seen, but there's some really, really strong contenders here. So I'm super pumped.
This is gonna get brutal.
Yeah, it probably will, especially with Steve, who he's not here. Of course, couldn't be with us, but we're thinking about you, Steve. So just want to put that out there. So yeah, I'm just going to end this then. What else is there? So yeah, stay tuned for the next season 3 of Late Night Cage Fight. We have a lot of cool shows coming up. We're going to focus even more on Nick Cage's career, and that goes for his older films and what's to come. And of course, check out some of our other podcast series, such as our Cageless series, where we review movies that we like that do not feature Nick Cage as an actor or producer or any part of it. And we also are working on a third series geared towards, we'll say geared towards children, but maybe not in the way that you think. A more childlike late night cage fight called Kitty Cage. Am I getting that right, Sean?
In most ways.
Yeah.
In most ways.
Yeah, we're still hashing that out. Kitty Cage.
Yeah, we should have something to announce pretty soon. We're just hashing out some of the details.
Yeah. So that being said, we are on Facebook, and we do have updates once in a while. It's worth checking us out there. Our website, nickcagefight.com, where we host a lot of our podcast episodes. You know, don't be a stranger. Check us out. And yeah, we do have some cool stuff coming up. Yeah. Now that I think about it, you're going to want to see it. You're going to want to be a part of this.
Just smash that like button.
Do it. Smash it.
Tickle it.
Yeah. Remember, guys, don't
press it.
Remember, guys, don't be vulgar. Don't curse. Don't use slurs. Don't use hate speech. Always use.
Don't attack the Capitol.
No. Don't attack
try
anything.
Try to murder elected officials.
That's definitely not cool. Yeah. Don't do that.
Don't overthrow the government.
Don't do that.
Don't do a felony.
No.
Stay home and play Peggle.
Yeah. Especially if you're over 50. That's a great over 50 game, right? Peggle.
Yep.
Or what's that one that my... Candy Crush? What did you think of WandaVision, Sean?
Yeah, so, as you know, I'm a big Marvel guy.
Wait a minute. This wasn't the Wanda Sykes stand-up?
No.
Oh.
No. But, you know, coming soon to Hulu Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, it's been 18 months since we've got any Marvel, and pretty interesting show, I've got to say.
Okay.
It is done in the style of a 1950s sitcom, kind of in the style of like I Love Lucy or I Dream of Jeannie.
I'm listening.
With the characters of Wanda Maximoff and Vision. Vision, as many of you know, actually is dead in the timeline, but it's in the first couple episodes they don't reveal too much, but it's basically just a conventional sitcom, but you can tell that there's something not right.
Okay.
They don't really know how they got here, and yeah, you could tell that there's something strange going on.
Okay.
Which I assume will be explored in later episodes. But apparently, they're both trapped in this sitcom-like world, and from the trailers, they go into different eras of sitcoms. Like they have a Brady Bunch, like 1960s theme, and then they have like an early 2000s like mockumentary Office type theme. But apparently there's something not right going on, and they're gonna have to figure out why they're in this strange dimension. And it's
is this a comedy?
I forget the actress. It is, but it also has a serious element. Supposedly, this actually ties directly into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, wow.
There are elements of a couple different runs in the comics. The House of M storyline, where Wanda loses her mind and remakes reality, and also there's another run called The Visions, where he essentially makes a pocket dimension or whatever, and lives in kind of like a 1950s style nuclear family with a bunch of other androids that look like him. that are his family.
This sounds interesting.
It's very bizarre.
Yeah.
You could tell that this was something that they were like, we have an idea for this, and we're gonna get real weird with it.
This is out now?
Just to give you, yes, first couple episodes are out.
Okay.
Yeah, just to give you an example, like they have a typical like sitcom juxtaposition where they're like, oh well, we forgot that Vision's boss at the computer office place is coming for dinner tonight, and he just asks, oh, when did you guys get married anyway? And she kind of like looks to herself and like looks down and is like, how did we?
All right. This sounds trippy.
And it kind of like, dude, I'm excited to see where this goes, because it's literally an episode of I Dream of Jeannie, but then just something is wrong.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's I wonder if it was somewhat inspired by Too Many Cooks, if you ever saw that.
I've heard of that.
Oh,
I've never actually seen it.
Oh my god.
I know the theme song.
You do? Too Many Cooks.
I do. I gotta watch
it's
that.
Amazing. Well, I don't want to hype it up too much, but I'll just say that it's not exactly what you expect. Yeah.
I wonder if that's on HBO Max.
I think it's YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was an Adult Swim thing.
Yeah, but I think the Adult Swim has the whole thing up on YouTube. It's just like I don't know. I don't even remember how long it is. 15, 20 minute video.
Oh, okay. I always thought it was a show.
No, it's not that long.
Okay.
But when you talk about bizarre sitcoms that get really weird, yeah, this is the Big Daddy. But no, that's cool. That's cool. I do want to check that out. So you're saying the first couple episodes of WandaVision are up now on Hulu?
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Oh, you were making a joke. See, that's the problem with this podcast, right? Were you making a joke? See, we make so many jokes, we end up giving disinformation. We make so many jokes deadpan, that people believe them. And then all these conspiracy theories start, and this is how countries fracture and collapse. So
Anyway, thank you to our sponsors, OAN and
no.
Newsmax.
No. No. See, I'm going to be more...
that's not real.
I'm going to be more transparent now and try to make it obvious when it's a joke, all right? And
we'll put a laugh track.
They did not accept our to be sponsors for us, so that's not true. We should have an episode where we have laugh tracks added to it. Just really sloppily. All right, well, this is Late Night Cage Fight. I enjoyed our discussion, Sean. Thanks for being with me this evening.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And thank you for letting me ramble about Marvel.
Oh, yeah, anytime. I love listening to you ramble about Marvel or anything.
I do it a lot.
All right. Well, yeah, like I said, we got more ahead for Late Night Cage Fight. NickCageFight.com. Find us on Facebook. Until next time, thanks for listening, and Cage out.